So this is the start of a fireworks show. We go from a pile of sand and our racks of mortars. And we take some bobcats and set everything up.
You want to hold one end of this while I walk it out?
Yep, we're going to do our 500-foot safety area. And it's 500 feet because we're firing off 5-inch mortars.
Right there. No, I'll walk. Actually, get on the line.
That is 300 feet right there. And so Houston, we have a problem because that means that stage is in our firing line.
I think I'm going to save the fives for the last half of the show. Maybe one set of fives before the mid-show. I want somebody in the audience to go, oh, this show is late. I don't know if we want to dump before we get to mid-shows. We might want to get the mid-show boxes before we dump sand.
Yeah, so that
we
way.
can dump sand everywhere except there. So I'll want you to hold the mortars back when I dump. Okay?
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's no real place we can get them to that's paved. Penultimate, or the three from the end.
And these are all 3-inch.
Yep, fours.
Those are 4s.
Yeah. Like the reverse of pickup sticks.
And they're all fused together,
Yep, and you need to make sure they're
not kinked.
yeah, not kinked, because that shouldn't, but it could
Cause a misfire.
fusing.
This where you got really good at the game of operation when you were a kid?
Yep. And these get individually seated to make sure they hit the bottom. Otherwise, you get what's called a low burst, or even worse, a flower pot. Because there's air gap at the bottom. Doesn't get enough lift pressure and goes and explodes right here.
And then we also had to dress out all the fuses, right?
Yep. And those will further get tamped down to make sure they're down. And then that entire assembly, once it's fused, will be covered in foil, because we don't want to accidentally have any embers from the main line light this thing off. But I've got a load of big guys, which I didn't realize until I read. We have 3 5s for the grand finale.
Ooh. Does that mean we need another box, or?
Nope. We just won't have two blanks.
Gotcha.
And these big guys come with string.
Strings attached.
Yes. And this one even has a squib. So there is, right there, the electrical. So you'd plug a squib into this guy if you were firing electrically.
And this is a manual show,
Yep.
not a computer-controlled show, so we will be lighting all of these by hand instead of hooking them up to a computer and pressing buttons and while the computer deciding when to fire everything.
Yeah. Or even an electric show, which is pushing switches. There just aren't enough electric control panels for all the fireworks that happen in this country on the 4th. So that's why they rely on old-fashioned guys like me who know how to do this, which is a little more dangerous.
But so much more fun.
Yes.
I mean, there's...
I can do this all day at work.
Yeah. That one seemed a little less tangled.
Yes. Well, it's harder to tangle if you only have 3. Oops. I hate it when this happens. Mortar gets deformed.
And has to be gently persuaded to go down the hole.
Sometimes you have to stick your hand in there to work it in, which, yeah.
What was that newspaper article you were just reading?
Yeah.
Florida man.
So we are going to be firing these 3 5s with these 10 3s after we fire these 5 4s and these 5 4s. So we're going to be cross fusing. So I might fuse and then bury it with a little sand. Make sure we don't accidentally, light that when we're lighting this. Because when these things go off, these fuses become little flaming tails that get flicked everywhere. And this 2 sets of cakes will be firing before those. So we'll have 2 crosses.
Lots to load.
Yes.
What's the total count? I know it was 14 boxes.
I will tell you. 154 3s, 82 4s, and 39 5s. So whatever that adds up to.
Somebody do the math and put it in the comments down below.
Some of them are multiples. And if you get lucky, you can do the math to figure out how many shots there are, as opposed to how many mortars there are, and you'll win a prize.
Or something.
Yeah. Kids, don't play with fireworks.
Or grow up.
Yeah.
And then you get to build sandcastles and play with fireworks.
Yeah.
And why are we foiling?
Because we're getting Oregon sunshine late in the evening. And this way, it'll keep them dry, and then we'll pull the foil off right before we shoot.
Because if we don't...
Well, there'll be foil little bits everywhere, which is fun for someone to clean up. But that's us, so maybe not.
Right. We've done too much wilderness cleanups on our hands and knees, picking up...
Yeah.
Let's see what's in the 4-inch box next. What do we have here? Purple dahlia. All sorts of good stuff. Green and purple. Red and blue peony. It's like a fine box of wine. Are you dropping the explosives?
But not on a metal truck bed, so I'm okay. down the line.
Okay.
And one person will do them, because otherwise we might both grab them and put them right next to each other, and then that's tactical.
Right. It has to be completely random.
Well, can't be completely random, but
Right.
I want it to be pseudo-random, because if it was completely random, two right next to each other would be legit.
Right.
And when you drop them, try to hear the thunk. Yep. But I'll come by with a stick and
Yeah, put it towards the end.
yeah.
And that way if we're gonna have a fuck up, it can be masked by lots of other things launching in the air.
Ooh, 5-inch dragon eggs with coconut tree pistols.
Just what I wanted for my birthday.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Who was it joking about black helicopters?
That would be me.
Well, that's actually the Life Flight LZ over there. So,
Yeah. So you mean shortly after the M80 goes off, the Life Flight helicopter goes up? That couldn't be a coincidence.
yeah. Give us a lot.
Is that it?
Yep.
Do we want to cut it in half or?
Nope, just cover what we can.
Do we want to start tarping foiling the rest? We got that other garbage bag. Split foil out.
Individuals. You just crimp them and go. Just hit the ones with shells in it first.
Tuck it in.
Yeah, just throw a little sand. This little stuff, this isn't recyclable, so.
Okay. We still worried about rain?
No.
Stop foiling?
Yeah, because I'm going to have to pull the foil off to tamp them anyway. So.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Squeeze the explosives with your
Yep. And if that doesn't work, then you can roll it on something firm.
Hey, look at that.
But it's probably just a little bump.
Got a flat spot?
Well, a non-flat spot, yeah.
Yes. Rain has gone away. Beautiful night. Now the skaters are coming out.
Yep.
Like you were being
Facetious?
yes.
Yep. I don't even know on ours. Gonna lean over the mortars to
So you're gonna add a little bit of fuse to them and
and
yeah.
then pull the fuse out the front and
So what's the technique?
we'll come over and look. Black powder impregnated cotton string. 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, this is cord that normally burns at, oh, I don't know, a couple feet a second. But when it's enclosed in this jacket, the sparks that it lets off accelerate because they bounce off the inside of the paper. So it burns at like 1,500 feet a second. So on the end of this guy, that's a slow fuse. That's a ½ inch or an inch every 2 seconds. So what you do, you cut this guy off, save it, and then you cut into here, because there's quick match. You widen that out. See, there's actually 4 strands of cotton impregnated. When they come from China, that's how they are. And you want these two to cross. So you open this up, and this is strictly overkill. And you tuck that in there, and then you tape the whole thing together. So there's a splice where there's more than just contact. There's, you know, an overlap. So I make a tape structure to hold it like a bandage. Slide that in there, double wrap it, tape this together, and then tape the whole thing so that it's airtighter, so that it runs at the same speed. And we've got a cheap roll of tape.
Blue masking tape for the win?
Well, it never peels off right. So as long as these are overlapping and airtight now in a sandwich, then I wrap this whole thing so it's structural. And if for some reason this failed, there should be an out fuse on the opposite corner, which is a blue one.
So you could run boxes together,
Yeah.
and there are some boxes we are going to run together.
Yep. So I would just come over here and light it. So then I'll take this, figure out enough length to get it over there,
And then I rubber band it.
cut it, and weld this guy on. This guy, the original slow fuse. So if you so choose, since whoever's lighting this, take those 4 cords, slide them in so they're parallel to these 4 cords for a while. See how nicely that came together? Hold this with one finger, peel off some tape. It's fireworks surgery. Splice that so these are held together. Bend it around so it's airtight. Give it a seal on this side so that it's extra airtight and you can't accidentally pull it apart in the excitement of pulling the fuse cover off. Then put the fuse cover back on once all the tape is covered. So now on over there, all you have to do is go yank and light, and it's just like the other ones. So then I pass it over without hanging over the mortars, wherever we want that to be in the show, which this is a 1/4. So we put it right here. And then that could be rubber banded off and ready to go.
And how did you know that was, oh, because you're just eyeballing, we're a quarter of the way.
Well, I count the number of racks.
Okay.
And then this one is even trickier, because we want these two to go simultaneously. So that's why I have them with the two red fuses next to each other. So those will be bridged. So these two boxes, which are our mid-show, will go at the same time. If I wanted to run them in parallel, I would fish around for the out fuse on one of these and tie the out fuse into the in fuse of the other one. But I'm not gonna.
Big boom.
So on this guy, the same deal. There's a little piece of tape here. And if this were an electric show, we would just wire a squib in here, but it's not. And if I can get these next to each other, even better. So I only need one fuse on the far side. So whichever one's longer, I'll take that fuse. Cut in here. This is another 4-string. Cut this guy. And I could just try to get these next to each other. What I'm going to do instead is bridge across. So I will cut a big section of this off. Put some tape as a lattice so that it'll hold these together, and then go across them with the hot fuse. So this will go across there and light both of them. And then it's important that it's airtight so that it travels at the same speed. And then this, I will just make a little splint like I was stitching a bandage together. Around there, back to there, so you can't yank it out. And then figure out enough. Cut it. Open it. Which fuse do we want? Use this one. As long as these two pieces of black powder are running in parallel for a little bit, helps if I grab the right one. Oh, this is interesting. This is a little fuzzy. So just to be safe, get a little more of that.
What does little fuzzy mean?
It's not as well impregnated as I would like. Looks a little abraded. There's more cotton showing than black powder. So,
Just to be on the safe side.
yeah. And when I'm on my game, I have some of this stuff
Stuck to your,
already. Yeah. So I'll just take that so it lines up on that. Tape that, but because that's the piece that comes off, don't want to tape that on. Oh. Well, and that's a problem because that one's stuck. So that would suck trying to pull that off. And this one is stuck too. So in this particular case, sometimes these fuses, the tape that holds them to the box, tapes the fuse cover shut. Sucks.
so you just have to improvise.
Yep, so it was good that we did this, because otherwise if you'd come over here and try to pull this off, it wouldn't have come off.
And in the middle of the show, that's...
Would have sucked. It's a technical term. And because this is a little weak, I'm gonna reinforce it with a little more tape. And this is why you don't want to be fusing in the dark, because it's hard to see this stuff.
So this is a perfect job for adults who didn't grow up. You get to play with tape, you get to make sandcastles, and you get to light fireworks.
Yep. Legally. So that is a 5-inch. There are some naval guns that aren't that big.
There are some naval guns that are bigger.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I'm never going to be in the Navy. And I don't think they fire those guns anymore.
Well,
So throw that over. Make sure this is good and tight. And we are done.
on to the next box.
Yes.
All Nomex'd up and ready to go?
Well, Michael Jackson, but pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm going leather. You're going for Nomex'd.
Yeah, Nomex'd 3A for the win.
Woohoo! Everything is all banded up, fused up, and we're ready to fire. There's a lot of rubber bands. Well, that's interesting. Never had any problem like that before.
Open it all the way. Your piezo's gone out. So we're using Fuzees.
Yep, I guess we are. No, I think what happened is when I tested it earlier, I left it cracked open. .1500 feet a second.